Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
We start with new information on the shooting that killed a teenager in the Northern Valley. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jordan Schreier. Bail for the suspect, 32-year-old Samantha Wilson, is set at $250,000. She faces 1 count of felony murder and 1 count of contact by bodily fluids after intentionally spitting blood at a correctional officer. Court documents also say that Wilson shot the 15-year-old boy with a 9mm pistol in the chest and throat. She was arrested at the scene in Northwood, North Dakota. Authorities say that before being hauled to jail, Wilson was uncooperative, banging her head on the windows in the cage of the patrol car. We still don't know the relation between Wilson and the victim, but neighbors and former co-workers tell us that he was not her son. Wilson will be in court again on March 2nd. New at noon, the woman accused of a gruesome murder in Minnesota has now pled guilty. 36-year-old Kayla Westcott took an Alford plea Tuesday morning on 1 count of felony second-degree aiding and abetting murder in the death of Troy Yarborough. According to court documents, Westcott and her then-boyfriend, Jason Jensen, attempted to kill Yarborough with an axe and left his body in a shed on their farmstead in Hitterdal. They then went to check on the body the next day and discovered he was still alive. Westcott claims that Jensen then killed the man by hitting him in the head with a cinder block. Jensen is already serving 38 years in prison after pleading guilty in April. Now, with this plea today, Westcott will spend around 32 years in prison. Taking that live look outside, it's a sight that's all too common. We just can't shake these clouds over the past few days. But to see what we have in store for the rest of our Tuesday, let's head on over to meteorologist Lisa Green.
Well, it's essentially more of the same that we're dealing with here. We've got some fog in spots that is still hanging on. We've got that advisory in effect for some areas still. We've got no visibility right now on our Colum DOT cam that we've been watching over the last couple of days. A lot of times we've been seeing a lot of fog on it, but now it's iced over because of that fog. So that gives you an idea of what we may be contending with on some of those roadways, especially those untreated roads. Checking out your visibility right now, we're at a 1/4 mile visibility in Cooperstown, a 1/2 mile in Valley City and in Oaks, and in Jamestown, Carrington, we're looking at visibility that's less than 2 miles. And then over in the east, we're at 1.5 miles visibility in Bemidji. So we're dealing with the fog. We've also got the snow out there too. And that dense fog advisory, just a few counties left in it, but it has been extended now until 1 o'clock because that fog's hanging on. The hope here is that we've got this snow moving in right now. You can see behind it some warmer air, and ahead of it we're a little bit colder. The hope is that we can get that warmer air in and help to drop those humidity levels and hopefully clear out some of that fog once this snow passes. But first, we'll have to put up with that here for this afternoon. And we're going to talk more about this coming up in just a few minutes and take a look at when this pattern overall will break, and we'll see some changes coming up in just a little bit.
All right. Thank you for that, Lisa. And we have a breaking news alert for you right now. Grand Forks Sheriff's deputies have identified the teenager that was killed in Northwood that we mentioned at the top of the hour here. He is 15-year-old Jonah Borth. We still don't know the relation to the suspect, and we will have much more on this story on the Valley News Live news app as well as on valleynewslive.com and later this evening in our newscasts. We have new information today on the body found in the parking lot of a Fargo business. Police are identifying the man as 30-year-old Wesley Gunhammer Jr. Gunhammer was found yesterday in the parking lot of Accent Kitchen and Bath along Main Avenue. At this time, his death is not considered suspicious and the cause is unknown. An autopsy will be conducted to learn more information. A Duluth man has pleaded guilty to fatally stabbing his wife after she planned to divorce him. Ryan Jesedowski entered the plea to intentional second-degree murder in the June death of his wife at their home. A criminal complaint says the man stopped stabbing his wife in the kitchen after their 7-year-old daughter told him to, quote, "Don't kill mom." Health authorities in China say over 4,000 medical personnel arrived in Wuhan and the surrounding area to fight the coronavirus. Wuhan is the epicenter of the viral outbreak that has killed at least 100 people and infected 4,500. In Wuhan, 60 patients who had the coronavirus have been discharged, but almost 7,000 new cases have been confirmed. At least 5 cases have been reported in the U.S. New details now about the investigation into the tragic helicopter crash that took the lives of Kobe Bryant, his young daughter, and 7 others on Sunday. As the NTSB pours through the crash site, they are looking to answer some critical questions. Tom Costello has more.
This morning, new video of what appears to be Kobe Bryant's helicopter taken just 30 minutes before it crashed by a homeowner living under its verified flight path. Now, as investigators search for clues in the wreckage off the steep hillside, they're also looking at the weather as a factor, the NTSB appealing to the public for help.
We're looking for photos of the weather in the area of the crash.
The pilot, identified as Ara Zabayan, was an experienced aviator and flight instructor who colleagues say put safety first. But Sunday morning, thick fog and low clouds had grounded LAPD and sheriff's choppers. So why did Zabayan choose to fly?
My concern is just the decision-making process. And if we weren't flying in that weather, why is anybody else flying?
Eyewitness Scott Dalen says just moments before the crash, he heard the chopper hovering above.
About 20 seconds later, just heard a thump. Heard plexiglass breaking up.
To have had this happen right here in front of you, what was that like?
I just wish it didn't have to happen.
Kobe Bryant regularly leased the luxury chopper, a Sikorsky. It took off from Orange County Airport at 9:08 a.m., headed to Bryant's training academy in Thousand Oaks. Air traffic control told the pilot to follow highways to the north, a normal procedure. But with the clouds and fog, Zabayan requested special visual flight rules for low ceilings.
Helicopter 2 Echo X-ray with you for the special VFR transition. We are currently at 1400.
Minutes later, over Calabasas, the chopper climbed, then descended quickly before dropping off radar with no mayday.
2 Echo X-ray, you're still too low level for flight following at this time. 2 Echo X-ray, SoCal.
The Sikorsky has one of the best safety records of any helicopter. Chopper pilot Kurt Dietz, who had also flown for Kobe Bryant, says he had never felt pressured by the basketball star to fly in any unsafe conditions. Did he ever insist on trying to get through weather, or did he ever insist on nothing like that?
No. The actual pilot flying is a final authority.
So it's up to him?
Yeah.
Sources close to the investigation say all the evidence thus far suggests this veteran pilot somehow became disoriented in the clouds and flew into the hill. And I want to go back to that story of the woman who was in jail for allegedly shooting a 15-year-old boy in Northwood, North Dakota. We are learning more information just coming into the newsroom right now. 4 people were inside the house at the time of the shooting. One of them was Jonah's father, Ray Borth, along with the suspect, Samantha Wilson's 2 young children. They were in the home as well. They are both 8 years old. So 4 people in total were in that home at the time that Jonah Borth was shot. Now, again, we will have more information on this later this evening on Valley News Live.